Welcome back. The role of the presidency is primarily to supervise government guided by the national priorities and the manifesto of the ruling party, the ANC. And this week in Parliament, President Jacob Zuma reported to the nation what he and his team of ministers had achieved during the past year in meeting its priorities. In his introduction to his budget vote in the National Assembly, the President also gave Parliament an indication of how his presidency will meet the outstanding obligations.
Some of the indicators are good. For an example, in education, the enrollment of children in the compulsory schooling age we now are able to say we start from the 7 to 15 years. That area we are now able to have reached 98% of enrolling children. And this was in 2010, which is helping to lay a stronger foundation for better quality basic education. To date, about 8 million learners no longer pay school fees, while 8 million benefit from the school nutrition program as part of government's poverty alleviation program. In addition, we provide social grants to about 10 million children to alleviate poverty. This is considered very progressive and impressive for a developing country.
President Zuma said more children from poor homes now had access to higher education programs. Matric results had improved, although more was to be done to raise the quality of matric results. He said education was going well in some areas, but there were still challenges in some provinces.
There are schools where books do not arrive on time, where scholar transport remains a challenge, or where children are not taught in decent classrooms, and where teachers are not in school, in class, on time, teaching for 7 hours a day. But these challenges are being attended to through various interventions.
President Zuma said the midterm indicate progress with the fight against crime. Good progress has already been made in improving health system effectiveness in preparation for the National Health Insurance Program.
While government is doing well in transforming healthcare, some challenges still remain. We still receive reports of long waiting periods and an uncaring attitude by some healthcare workers in certain public hospitals. This is also being attended to nationwide through a focused customer care program in the public health system. In the area of fighting crime and corruption, the midterm review tells us that we are doing well. Overall, serious crime has declined, but the fight continues, and there are still a number of areas we must improve on.
With regard to corruption, the President said the focus was on corruption by officials within the criminal justice system. Examples of actions included the theft of police equipment, interference with evidence secured for trials, and outright assistance to criminals. President Zuma said such elements undermine the good work of dedicated officials within the South African police, courts and correctional services.
Since 2009, investigations have uncovered 1,529 persons within the criminal justice system that were possibly involved in corruption-related crime. By the end of 2011, 192 officials were criminally charged for corruption, resulting in 86 officials being convicted, while a further 296 officials were departmentally charged. Our midterm review has also reminded us of the fact that there are several anti-corruption structures in government. This results in overlapping mandates and duplication. There is therefore a need to ensure that all structures that have been created are coordinated by the Anti-Corruption Task Team. Minister Collins Chabane, who chairs the Anti-Corruption Interministerial Committee, will assist us in this exercise.
The President said the Presidential Infrastructure Coordination Commission, or PICC, chaired by himself, had become an important tool of coordination. Projects like unlocking the Northern Mineral Belt, the Integrated Urban Space and Public Transport Program, Saldanha and Northern Cape Development Corridor, and the Integrated Municipal Infrastructure Projects are all well underway.
We are poised to reach our goals of turning South Africa into a huge construction site, developing dams, power stations, ports and railways, which will improve access to services and boost job creation. We would like to report on other successes of the infrastructure development program. The 300 billion rand Transnet market demand strategy, which was announced in the State of the Nation address, has been launched and is being implemented. The 1 billion rand debate, the 1 billion rand rebate on port charges that the port regulator and Transnet had agreed upon, is also being implemented since April. Next week, I will visit Eskom's Medupi power station project near Lephalale in Limpopo province for the boiler pressure test of the first unit of Medupi. The project has doubled the size of the economy of Lephalale and has brought jobs, skills, and development to the local community and to our economy as a whole. Let me use this opportunity to remind all to save electricity every time, everywhere, especially during this cold winter period.
We'll have more on the President's budget vote on Tuesday's program, to also hear what members of political parties and ministers had to say during that debate. After the